This is Bharat FM.
बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत.
ये है भारत FM.
बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत.
Namaskar, Toichu Sarni, Hat welcome and Hat Namaskar. Bachas Tuhun host, Kahani Kashmir host, Deepika Zutshi, and I heartily welcome all of you today. I have a special treat for you today. I would like to introduce to you guys a wonderful singer. His name is Rohmish, and if you haven't heard about him, you are missing something really special. You're missing a treat. So I would highly recommend that you find him, and we'll tell you where to find him. But I highly recommend that you find him and listen to his diverse repertoire of songs. And you will be as mesmerized as I was when I first heard him. So without any further ado, I want to begin today's show, especially with everything that's going on in the world. Romish, if you can start up our show with a Ganesh Vandana. I know that you have a wonderful Vandana in your repertoire of songs and bhajans that you've done. If you could start up, and then I will treat everybody to a conversation with you. How about that?
Absolutely. I think I will be highly privileged. First of all, giving me an opportunity here today to sing in front of your audience. I hope they like it and they appreciate and they give me all their blessings and love. I appreciate this opportunity.
Of course. Let's get started.
So we'll start with this Ganesh Vandana. This Ganesh Vandana has been written by Shri Makhanlal Madanji, and I composed it last year. I hope it gives you some peace. Thank you. Nirga nirsa nirgama gare nirsa rega sarega ma gare gare nirsa. गोडनी छुई हे गणेश चे नमस्कार गोडनी छुई हे गणेश चे नमस्कार उद्यतम शरणागतस भवसागरस्तार उद्यतम शरणागतस भवसागरस्तार क्षुप्रथ पूजाय चोनई नाव आधार क्षुप्रथ पूजाय चोनई नाव आधार उद्यतम शरणागतस भवसागरस्तार उद्यतम शरणागतस भवसागरस्तार उद्यतम शरणागतस भवसागरस्तार गोडनी छुई शरण यम छी यिवान से पज मनै शरण यम छी यिवान से पज मनै दिवान प्रथ भय मंज तिमन च अभय 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 प्रथ भय मंज दिवान च अभय प्रथ भय मंज दिवान च अभय लबान तिम हर अंदेश निश मक जार लबान तिम हर अंदेश निश मक जार तितम शरणागतस भवसागरस्तार तितम शरणागतस भवसागरस्तार तितम शरणागतस भवसागरस्तार तितम शरणागतस भवसागरस्तार.
Oh my God, that is beautiful. I don't want to clap because it is a bhajan, but clap apne aap se dil se nikal raha hai. It is beautiful. Thank you for singing this for us, Romish. It was just beautiful. Already aapne aaj ka mahal bana diya.
श्री गणेश हो गया.
Yes, absolutely. और बहुत इससे सुंदर और इससे मीठा श्री गणेश हो ही नहीं सकता. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
I'm now, let's get into it because I'm very excited to talk to you. You are based in the US, and tell me a little bit about your name. I'm going to start right with that. I think it is a beautiful, beautiful name. You told me it's your stage name. So tell me, how did you become Romish?
Would you mind if I use this talking mic instead of the singing mic?
Not at all. Please go ahead.
Yeah. My name basically has a little bit of history behind it.
Mhm.
If you see, this is Rohmish. Rohmish is basically name of a river. It is the river that flows in the village where my grandma used to live in Kashmir.
Oh, that is beautiful. Uh-huh.
And I still remember all those past memories. Whenever I used to get a chance to go to my grandma's home, the
Uh-huh.
first thing I would do is run to the river and just spend some time there in the water.
Yeah.
That Romish river is something which is very close to my heart.
Uh-huh.
And to the extent that I had thought that if I had a child, I would give a boy child, I would give him a name of Romish, but
Uh-huh.
God had different plans for me. I got two girls.
Ah. Oh, so
So I
you
thought,
became Romish.
so I thought, let me give this to me, to myself.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Oh, that's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful name and it has such a sentimental background to it. For all our viewers who would like to reminisce about their homes back in Kashmir, can you tell them where was this Romish River?
Romish River is it's in a village called Romu.
Uh-huh.
Romish.
Uh-huh.
They, it's from the same village's name,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and it is just out the, I would say, the outskirts of Pulwama district.
Ah, okay. Mm-hmm.
It's nearby that area. So
Near Pulwama. Okay.
near
So all our viewers who are from Pulwama and the areas around it will definitely fall back into those memories. So thank you for bringing that up today too.
Thank you very much.
Great, great. So Romish, tell us about your childhood. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up and your journey from childhood to adolescence, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Deepika ji, my childhood was like a regular childhood, full of enthusiasm and excitement at that age, that usually everyone has.
Yep.
And luckily for me, I mean, since I was born in Kashmir, and I got a lot of opportunity to spend my childhood very in close proximity to nature.
Uh-huh.
Since as you may have guessed, I spent a lot of time in the village with my grandmother,
Yep.
and and luckily my parents sent me to one of the fine schools in Srinagar called Tyndall Bisco School.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, of course.
yeah, and
Yeah,
and
go,
there,
go, go to Nelvisco.
totally, yeah,
Yeah.
in all things be man. Well, I think that gave me an ample opportunity to explore Kashmir's beauty right in my
Hmm.
childhood.
Hmm.
All the big mountains, and many of the big mountains, I got an opportunity to scale there. Did a lot of mountaineering activity
Oh, nice. Hmm.
and camping and all that, as part of
Uh-huh.
school activity. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean, uh, uh, Kashmir, as you know, as Amir Khusro has already said it, Gar Firdaus Baru e Zameen Ast, Hami Hasto, Hami Hasto. So if there is
Sure.
any
So
paradise
true.
on this earth, that is Kashmir. It's here. It's
Yeah,
here.
it's here.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think
Well said.
a lot
Hmm.
of excitement in my childhood.
Hmm. Beautiful. You've actually taken me back to my childhood summer vacations when we used to go to Gulmarg, or, the just Killenmarg, and, the rivers and the mountains and the green. I can smell it. So thank you for taking us there.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, Not to take it into a serious mode, but I do want to ask a little bit about the 1980s and leading up to 1989 and 90. What was going on with you? Where were you? And do you have any big memories from that time that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Well, I think um, as far as I remember, in 1990s was the time, a very rough time for us, as we know that. What happened in 1990, I believe, was the culmination of the plight on Kashmiri Pundits, essentially, that who had been enduring the pain for some time, uh,
Hmm.
and perhaps in a subtle manner for a very long time.
Hmm.
Unfortunate events of Jan 19 and Jan 20th, these 2
Hmm.
days in
Hmm.
Kashmir, they actually triggered the exodus of Kashmiri Pundits from the valley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, although Pundits had, Kashmiri Hindus had already started moving out of valley few months, prior,
Hmm.
to the situation that was there.
Right.
But they say that in on these 2 days particularly,
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
it was as if hell broke loose
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
these 2 days, and that
Hmm.
I remember I was in my bed with my family
Hmm.
on January 19th,
Hmm.
night, and suddenly there was a lot of noise outside. And my dad and me, we kind of opened the windows, and we heard all these loud sounds, especially those Azadi slogans coming in, and basically they were demanding Indian security forces to quit. And that really we got pretty much horrified with that. Uh, uh, and then the January 20th, what happened in Gav Kodal,
Hmm.
incident, which was very near to my home. We used to live
Hmm.
in proximity there. That was
Hmm.
also quite scary.
Hmm.
Uh, it was.
Romish, I don't want to interrupt you, but you're getting softer. Can you either bring the mic up to your face
Oh,
or speak
absolutely. Is it?
louder too?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it okay? So,
Yes, this is perfect. Thank you.
so Deepika ji, it was the month of January when
Hmm.
almost every Kashmiri Pandit family got a note
Hmm.
written that hey, you quit Kashmir.
Hmm.
It was thrown either in their windows or in their front porch or in their front yards of their homes.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I still remember how they even decided one day that they would come and target Kashmiri Pandits. That they had made a target date for them.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
declared,
Right.
and that really I remember all everybody in our neighborhood especially the elderly people. They decided, hey, we must get together and spend this night together. Whatever happens, happens to all of us, and we'll
All
try
right.
our best to
Mhm.
protect our kith and kin.
Right. And there's safety in numbers too. So hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, luckily that didn't happen.
Mhm.
But terror was seeping in at its best. That
Yeah.
was, and finally, one Sunday when I was having lunch with my family, we
Mhm.
heard a knock on the outer door,
Mhm.
and I was quick enough to go out, and I
Mhm.
opened up the door, and suddenly there were two men. They pointed something at me. I couldn't see that, but
Mhm.
they were under Farron, and
Ah.
they
Mhm.
said, "Hello, hands up, Sham Lal Chayeti." Sham Lal
Huh.
Chayeti in Kashmiri
Mm.
means they were looking for
Mhm.
somebody with the name
Yep.
Sham Lal, and they were on
Yep.
the wrong address.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
I said, I couldn't say anything. I was petrified almost.
Mhm.
Then my
Mhm.
dad came out and he said, there's nobody with that name. They didn't seem to be in a mood to believe him.
Ah.
And then suddenly, luckily, our front door neighbors,
Mm.
they, they opened up the window. They said, they convinced them that, hey, they are on the wrong
Mm.
address.
Mhm.
That was kind of a turning point for me and my family. And
Yeah.
that day I left Kashmir. I mean, the next day after that,
Yeah.
my dad
Yeah.
decided to ship me along with strangers
Wow.
with 200 rupees, notes, one in my left sock and one in my right sock.
Huh.
And I was
Yeah.
shipped along with strangers.
Oh my God.
I have
Mhm.
to report to my uncle in Jammu.
Wow.
So yeah, that's been a terrible memory there. This
Wow. I can't even imagine what's going through the mind of a little child who has been given this huge responsibility of, you know, getting from, the comfort and the safety of their home to a strange place with strangers. That is just amazing. I have never experienced myself this level of intensity, and kudos to you for getting through that and
think
surviving that.
I think it is the story of every Kashmiri Pandit who was, you know, target
Yeah.
of this unfortunate situation.
Yeah. I do talk to a lot of people on this show, and I showcase everyone's scenarios and situations and what happened. And you're right, the same story that we were living a comfortable, happy life, and then suddenly things were bubbling, 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 and then suddenly there was a turning point, like you said, Shamlal Chayat, and that can be a big turning point, and that decision factor that, hey, let's go, we need to leave.
Yeah.
um, Amazing. I want to come back a little bit to your singing. So how did you get started as a singer? How did that happen?
Yeah, I think me and I mean, I and my brother, I have an elder brother. I believe we were passionate singers right from our mother's tummy. We've been singing a lot. Even whenever we get chances in the community gatherings, even when we were kids,
Uh-huh.
we would
Mhm.
volunteer for that, and we would be appreciated.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but I think you see, this was a situation. I don't think we had ample opportunities in Kashmir uh, to be courageous enough to make music as a career. I think
Uh-huh.
there were limited opportunities there
Uh-huh.
regarding music. Very few teachers available,
Right.
even that could teach you Shastri Sangeet.
Right.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't and after displacement, obviously the only priority my parents had was to make sure that I land up in a good college, like
Yeah.
any other
Yeah.
family in Kashmiri.
Yeah. Survival. Yeah.
Survival,
Mm-hmm.
make some decent living out of it.
Right.
So making music as a career was out of question. it
Mm-hmm.
was it was not until my fourth year of engineering
Uh-huh.
I got a chance to start learning Shastri Sangeet, Hindustani classical music,
Ah. Mm-hmm.
at Nehru Kala Academy in Ahmednagar in Maharashtra.
Uh-huh.
And then my guru encouraged me to continue with the music even after my engineering, and he suggested me to join Triveni Kala Sangam in Delhi.
Uh-huh. Oh, beautiful. Uh-huh.
I took some lessons from Triveni Kala Sangam, some training
Uh-huh.
from there.
Mm-hmm.
But that was during my employment days. I was
Uh,
working and learning
uh-huh.
music at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm.
And then finally, when I moved to US, I was fortunate enough to come across Srimati Usha Narangji, and
Mm-hmm.
I made her my mentor, my guru for learning music
Mm-hmm.
in Columbus, Ohio.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So
Wow.
that's the only opportunity I got to learn it, and after
Yeah.
that, I just have been
Yeah.
experimenting on my own and trying to hone
Mm-hmm.
my skills in
Uh-huh.
whatever best
Yeah.
possible way I can.
Yeah. Even though, life didn't give you an early start, but I am so happy that you stuck with it because we are reaping the benefits of that. So thank you so much for sticking with your passion.
Thank you very much for this, encouragement.
Of course. अच्छा मुझे बताइए रोमेश अब नेक्स्ट गाना आप हमें क्या सुनाने वाले हैं?
अगला गाना मैं आपको एक काफ़ी पॉपुलर गाना सुनाने वाला हूँ। ये 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 गीत जो है, ये गीत भी है और ये भजन भी है।
Uh-huh.
अब
Beautiful.
Kashmiri Hindus, Pundits used to celebrate this song as a bhajan, as a devotional song, as Shankar bhajan, Shiv bhajan.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And non-Kashmiris, particularly Muslims, used to sing it as a love song. But at the end
Huh.
of the day, as we say, love is God, God is love, right? So it doesn't make
True.
any
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
So I guess I will just sing a couplet of this song.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Saga Saga Maga 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 Saga Ma Paga Pa Ma Pama 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 Gare Nire Sa Re Ga Sa Re Ga Sa हर मुख पर तल हर मुख पर तल गम बम गरे निधा नि रे सा रे ग सा रे ग सा रे ग म गरे गरे निधा नि रे सा हर मुख पर तल प्रारई मदनो यीदप हम ती लागयो हर मुख पर तल प्रारई मदनो यीदप हम ती लागयो पोष दप हम गुलाब लागई मदनो पोष दप हम गुलाब लागई मदनो ई दप हम ती लागयो हर मुख पर तल प्रारई मदनो ई दप हम ती लागयो हर मुख पर तल कोंग में करमई चमन मझाला गई नमन कोंग में करमई चमन मझाला गई नमन मुश्ताक गो हम कामन मदनो मुश्ताक गो हम कामन मदनो ईदप दिलागयो हर मुख परतल प्रारई मदनो ईदप दिलागयो पोष दप हम गुलाब लागई मदनो पोष दप हम गुलाब लागई मदनो ईदप दिलागयो हर मुख बरतल प्रारई मदनो ईदप दिलागयो ईदप दिलागयो ईदप दिलागयो
अगेन ब्यूटीफुल। आप रोमिश मुझे मेरे बचपन में लेके जा रहे हैं, जब मेरे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स वो मुझे सुनाते थे ये सब भजन। इट इज अमेजिंग। आई हैवंट हर्ड दिस इन years, so thank you so much for bringing me back to my childhood too. Thank you. This is beautiful. Greatly appreciate it. Um, okay, so tell me a little bit about um, what is it that you miss the most about Kashmir?
This is a very interesting question. I think there's hardly a day when I don't recollect Kashmir, whether in my dreams or when I'm awake. Uh, Actually, as I started this conversation with you, I miss my grandma's home,
Yeah.
the village Romu itself, the water stream that used to flow right in her front yard,
Ah,
fresh
beautiful.
from the freshwater river in the mountain rivers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Surprisingly, I miss the television set that we left in our living room, you know, as it is. You know, I tend to
Mm.
wish it will still be like that on its four legs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
I also miss, you know, small things like, you know, alarm clock. You know, I
Uh-huh.
have so much, you know, attached to that alarm clock. It used to
Uh-huh.
be a loyal friend, you know, waking me
Yes.
every day for my school.
Uh-huh.
And I also miss the divine environment that we used to feel on the banks of River Jhelum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there were most of the temples in Kashmir were, you know, built on the bank of River
Thanks.
Jhelum.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you know, whenever there was any big festivity, the kind of, you know, prayers, I really miss that environment.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the beautiful view of Zabarwan. Zabarwan is a mountain range.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in Kashmiri, we say the top floor of our houses, we used to call it as dub.
Uh-huh. Dub. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we would open up the shutter of that dub, one of the shutters of the dub,
Uh-huh.
and I
Uh-huh.
remember a beautiful view of the Zabarwan range,
Ah,
right? You know,
beautiful.
I could see,
Mm-hmm.
and in front of it, very small mountain on which there is Shankaracharya temple.
Shankaracharya. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I miss all of that, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can keep on saying for the whole day, you know, what I miss
Yeah.
about Kashmir.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, Shankaracharya is definitely one of those places that is very, deep in my heart too. So
absolutely.
yeah, it's beautiful that you mentioned that. Oh my God, you are with every answer of yours, Romesh. You are painting a picture for me. Every time I smell it, I see it in front of my eyes. It's filled with colors and beauty and greenery and rivers and water. It's just beautiful. आपकी जितनी singing beautiful है, उतना ही soul भी आपका beautiful है. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Um, Tell me a little bit about, since we are talking about singing and Kashmir, how did your singing uh, help you at all in dealing with the turbulence in your life? Did it, give you some calm? Did it give you some satisfaction? Did it help you escape? Did it help you in dealing with your situation?
I think Deepika ji, I wouldn't say that it helped me, you know, escape
Mm-hmm.
all these, you know, these thoughts. But
Mm-hmm.
certainly music helped me transform a little bit.
Mhm.
I think this is the beauty with music, that if you have good lyrics, you have good voice. I mean, you listen to good voice,
Yeah.
and you listen to good words.
Mhm.
That really has a potential to transform you. I am firmly of this belief that if there is a good tune, the melody,
Mhm.
that is
Mhm.
creates the body of the song,
Mhm.
and good what do you call as words give it a character, and the
Uh-huh.
sound that you hear is basically the soul of that body.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think whenever I am in some kind of a distress, or I get nostalgic, I think I turn on
Mhm.
my music, or I do some sort of riyaz, a daily riyaz,
Uh-huh.
and that
Mhm.
helps me understand the value and the worthlessness of life. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I,
Yeah.
I think that gives me some peace, and it helps
Mhm.
transform.
Yeah.
And definitely, it's a great tool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So beautiful. Thank you for saying that. And I really like the way you deconstructed a song and the melody and the composition. And I've never heard it being described that way before. So that's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so again, talking about Kashmir, would you're very far away from home right now, or let's say far away from Kashmir right now,
Yeah,
in
physically.
your new environment, in your new home.
Yeah.
Um, would you ever consider going back? And if yes, would you go back there to travel, or would you go back there to settle? Would you ever go back?
I think uh, you see, this is a kind of a dilemma for most of Kashmiri Pundits as of today,
Yeah,
because it's been 30, 40 years of our displacement
yeah,
now.
yeah,
And I think we have significantly invested in our lives outside of Kashmir.
yeah,
And whether we will actually go there and settle back,
yeah,
I'm not sure whether all of us will be willing to go
yeah,
there because of
yeah,
such a big time in between. But I'm
yeah.
of a firm belief that Kashmir will become peaceful
Hmm.
soon,
Hmm.
and once again habitable for whoever wants to go there.
Yeah, yeah,
If government continues with the right type of policies
yeah.
that are in interest of that goal, of course,
Hmm.
it's subject to that. I'm
Yeah,
not sure how many displaced Kashmiris will actually settle there, but
yeah,
Kashmir will be calling us back, definitely.
yeah,
And in
yeah.
my perspective, specifically to me, I haven't yet given it a great deal of thought. But yes,
Hmm.
I know
Hmm.
in my heart it's calling. If it is calling me back,
Yeah,
who knows,
yeah,
how it
yeah.
turns.
True. When the opportunity arises for me, when the opportunity arises, I'm going to see. I'm definitely going to go there in my lifetime. But
Great.
we'll have to see what happens. Is my thought. So
Excellent.
it sounds very close to that.
Yeah.
Acha, chaliye, let's take this little journey that we are taking and ask you to play something else for us. Is there anything in your repertoire that you would like to share with us?
Yes, I think since you asked about whether I want to go back to Kashmir,
Mhm.
I think it reminds me the beautiful Laldad Wak. I don't know if you've heard of Laldad.
Yes,
Laldad
of
is
course.
the you know what I say is the epitome of Kashmir.
Yeah,
She's if we don't have Laldad, we don't have Kashmiriyat, we don't have Kashmiri
true.
culture.
Hmm.
Oh, it's such a
Yeah,
great value. She was not just a
yeah,
poet from 14th century, but
yeah.
she was a great saint as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes,
So I'm going to, sing in a few couplets from Laldad, what we call as Laldad Wak.
perfect. Yes, thank you.
आम्य पन सोदरस नाव्य छस लमान कत बोझ दयम्योन मित दीतार कत बोझ दयम्योन मित दीतार आम्यन ताक्यन पोन जन शहमान दिल छुम ब्रमान गरगच दिल छुम ब्रमान गरगच दिल छुम ब्रमान गरगच अमुई अकुई अछुर परुम सहमाल रोटुम मनस मंज सुहामाल कन पेट गोरुम तो सोरुम अस सास सपन सोन अस सास सपन सोन अस सास सपन सोन काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार गलिए ललिए फलिए भाव पंपोष काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार गलिए ललिए फलिए भाव पंपोष तप चे तप रे निय ठल ठलिए तप चे तब रे निय ठल ठलिए ललिए फलिए भाव पंपोष काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार गलिए ललिए फलिए भाव पंपोष ललिए फलिए भाव पंपोष काम क्रोध लोभ गोर शब्द से लोला बोर थई गोर शब्द से लोला बोर थई सुर थई पुर थई पृथ्वीज छुई सुर थई पुर थई पृथ्वीज सुई जिगरस मंजवाक थोत वल्य वलिए ललिए फलिए भाव पंपो जिगरस मंजवाक थोत वल्य वलिए ललिए फलिए भाव पंपोष तप चे तप रे निय ठल ठलिए तप चे तब रे निय ठल ठलिए ललिए फलिए भाव पंपोष काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार गलिए ललिए फलिए भाव पंपोष ललिए फलिए भाव पंपोष ललिए फलिए भाव पंपो.
Oh, that is beautiful, beautiful. आपने इस पूरी conversation में you have kept this divinity around us the whole time. I can feel it. So thank you. I don't know how you do it. It is beautiful. Thank you. And of course, your voice is beautiful, Romish.
Thank you very much. Deepika. I think partly the reason is that when you talk about Kashmir,
Uh-huh.
spirituality comes automatically.
That is
It is a
true.
valley where there's a lot of divinity.
Yes, that is so true. So true. Romish, मुझे बताइए, who are your idols in singing, and where do you get your inspiration? Tell us a little bit about that.
I usually get inspired by most of the gurus and masters. It's very hard to pick up names, but essentially, I have been listening a lot to Pandit Bhimsen Joshi ji. I've been listening to Ravi Shankar. I've been listening to Jagjit Singh
Uh-huh.
and Mohammad Rafi. Mohammad
Uh-huh.
Rafi is what you know. I used to sing a lot of Mohammad Rafi songs when I was a child, and even in my youth and college times.
Uh-huh.
Anup Jalota ji in the bhajans,
Uh-huh.
so many other great artists. It's very hard to pick up.
Yeah.
Even in Kashmiri, Ghulam Nabi Sufi,
Uh-huh. Right.
Saab, and Rashid Hafiz Saab.
Mm-hmm.
These are very outstanding artists
Yeah.
and souls.
Yeah.
They've been inspiring me.
Yeah, and so that beauty of their music is coming through to me in your music. So thank you for sharing some of that with us.
Thank you.
Acha, मुझे बताइए, what is next for you? What are next steps for you in your singing career? Tell us a little bit about that, and tell us, how do your fans find you if they want to follow you, if they want to see what you're up to and what new music you're making. Tell us a little bit about that.
In terms of next steps, Deepika ji, I think I've just started, and there's a long way to go.
Mhm.
I'm currently composing a ghazal album
Mhm.
comprising some beautiful ghazals from late Vishwajit Tuljapurkar, a very fine ghazal writer who used to have in Amravati, Maharashtra.
Uh-huh.
Premchand Sehajwal
Uh-huh.
ji, late Premchand Sehajwal ji, and Akhtar Nazmi. And these are the three poets. I got a chance to learn their ghazals, and I decided to make an album out of it. I'm also working on one song that I wrote and composed for Rally for Rivers campaign, which is run by Sadhguru Vasudev Jaggi's Isha Foundation.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it's also in making. I will be recording that pretty soon in the final cut.
Uh-huh.
And there are a few more melodies in making.
Uh-huh.
In nutshell, my plan is to continue singing and making music,
Uh-huh.
and seek help from platforms like yourself,
Mhm.
to support me so that I could enhance my reach.
Oh, absolutely. I can assure all our viewers that if you liked this little taste of Romish, I am sure that Bharat FM is going to have a long relationship with you, Romish, and watch more Bharat FM, Bharat TV, so that you can listen to more of Romish and you can see more of Romish. I promise you, it is going to be a treat. Do you want to tell everybody, Romish, about your YouTube
Yes,
channel
first of all,
too? Because I'm a fan of that.
right, because you mentioned about my fans. I'm really humbled and honored if I have any fans as of now. But more than fans, I look at my audience as my inspiration,
Oh,
and I seek their encouragement and their support and their love at every step. I can be reached on my YouTube channel
uh-huh,
and SoundCloud.
uh-huh,
You can search by Romish,
mhm.
and I'm constantly in touch with my audience, with my followers on Facebook page as well.
Mhm.
So I think these are primarily three places where you can find me and
Great.
support me. Yeah.
Great, great. And viewers, I highly, highly encourage you to go check out Romish's YouTube channel. The first day that I went there, I was hooked. I became a subscriber, and now I'm a diehard fan. So please, I would highly recommend that aap sab encourage kijiye Romish ko, because he is an amazing singer and deserves all the praise that he can get. Great. So, Romish, do you have any last words for her, for all of us and your viewers? Because I have one last question for you before we go. So, before we do that, tell us if you have any last words for your audiences, fans, for us, anything else you want to share.
My last word is just stay healthy, stay joyful, stay closer to your family. The times are rough these days all around the world. There's a lot of negativity. Don't pay much heed to that negativity that much. Of course, we need to be aware in terms of what's going on. And,
Yes.
listen to music. If you are a musician, practice music, do riyaz every day, and, enjoy life as it is. Don't try to make, some movie out of it. Just enjoy it. Have
What
fun.
what beautiful thoughts. Thank you for sharing. Okay, here's my last question, and hopefully it's a fun one for you too. What are some of your favorite Kashmiri foods or dishes? You are a Kashmir boy, so what is it you like the most?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Deepika. You should have asked me this question when I was a non-vegetarian few years, many years
Ah.
back. The last
Mhm.
6-7 years I have been kind of
Mhm.
vegetarian type. I haven't,
Uh-huh.
but yes, even in uh, vegetarian cuisine there is
Yeah.
damodu.
There's a lot. Uh-huh.
Damodu is my favorite. That is
Uh-huh.
damalu, what we call it, Kashmiri damalu. That is
Uh-huh.
my
Mhm.
favorite. And my wife makes very delicious salmon, which is
Ah.
paneer.
Yeah, the leathered salmon or the red one?
Was it salmon? That is
Was
red.
it? Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And
bird
my
suckle.
kids,
हमारी
my
family में
kids,
अगर bird suckle नहीं होते थे तो then that was no good.
and you know what? My kids love nadir yakni.
Ah, ah, wow. Oh, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's
We're keeping our traditions alive, if nothing else, through food.
right. And whenever I get a chance to go to India, Deepika ji, I
Uh-huh.
try to catch hold of the nearby Kandur, that make a
Yes.
Kashmiri bakery, and
Uh-huh.
get some telur, some katlam,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
these are
Yeah.
delicacies which we don't get to,
Yes.
enjoy
Yeah.
here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Kulcha is my favorite, and I
Kulcha,
like katlam too.
absolutely, absolutely,
Beautiful. Beautiful. I can taste it. I can taste it all right now.
absolutely.
Yeah. Romish, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you taking time out of such a busy schedule. You have a job, you have family, you have your music, assignments. And so thank you for taking time out for us in all of your commitments and completely regaling us with your beautiful and divine and soulful voice. We really appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Deepika ji. I'm really humbled, and I'm thankful and grateful for Bharat FM for having given me this chance today. I think it's a great opportunity. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course, the pleasure is all ours. And to all our viewers, thank you very much. We really appreciate you staying with us through this episode. And we will meet you once again on another new episode of Kahani Kashmir Ki very soon. But in the meantime, like Romish said, please stay healthy and be kind to each other and help each other out in these tough times.
This is Bharat FM.
बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत.
ये है भारत FM.
बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत.